Ubona tuko kwa wathinite na batu tukuboru arekiriro waria ro mwanya na PS kiburi tukuboru ari turenda kwariria mantu mwanya igi Uriti Ngugi Bwa Thirikari na tukweru ari mubango yo nyotani yukinyira county ya Meru ara county cia Tharaka-Nithi Embu na Meru bethire ayuthi bakiamukira mbeta cio kenda withetheria ucukiria kibiashara na rais onekanire wika mawira yawe na kuwa kuyo kethira yekinyanira mwaka yu na kinya mwaka twitite na tukethenya tukaria mantu igi department yewe ya cooperative kiri mantu abe mbite kwethira baikinyaniria ya thirikari hanena batu kulukira 23578 number yetu SMS through live kiri Facebook through live kiri YouTube kethira nkitho mantu miri cia kuro twitira mbere na rwariyo karibu bwana PS kiri mubango yo mwanyo tukuboru ari tena ya Wero TV.
Thank you so much.
And happy new year.
Happy new year.
Yes. Now katuambirie na mubango wa nyota. Mtu no achurie tumikia president kuambira program we nontu nonekete kuthiulunka tere mwanya Kenya rware yo karizamu ya Meru Tharaka-Nithi na Embu. Program we morato yayo nimbi.
Oh, thank you very much. MUTEMBEI nyota ti program njaro.
Yeah.
Program ni ari ko kija kithirikari renge kintu getwa Kenya Youth something. Kiop, if I remember very well. Na mpango hiyo World Bank. Nyota is National Youth Opportunities. Na program it is informed na kumenya ati twinana babaingi muno bata young people Kenya bawicho meke biashara batathoma batakuloka form 4 lakini bibenda imboost kidogo mno seed capital ya kuendeleza biashara yo. So the government of Kenya kilitangu na the World Bank ba develop mpango yo nyota na ki county chale ke phase 1 plan ni kunenkara ana baba ina madhomo ya form 1 below up to 820,000 Kenyan youth seed capital. We are up to 50,000 each and can either inform ki county chale ke phase 1 we everyone ana nikande ana up to 84.
Everyone.
Ana 84 baba bakanenkarwa baba chala bakanenkarwa beche chiringi 50,000 ando vengi mno bariwa 50,000 yanto ya batu abene na yawe babene ntoyo reki becha kidogo.
Yeah.
And wo president akutetea mengi mno au let us respect humble beginnings. Chiringi 50,000 okay ando abangi baba udigeta interview watona mbeji batachi wata and program we poto mionete very impactful ke ando baba ingi kiana baba ingi ando apata biashara na hivyo ukyakorika na wewe mno kithirikari in the campaign watu wa campaign ni abo to pesa mfukoni wekana becha mpone. There are many ways of putting wekana becha mpone anto one of the program you target youth becha mpone ni dwaria tokarikanaru rie munene nyere nkengerera nyere ana bapo kale abo ndipo ne phase 1 I mean the first phase of this phase otewa timu ya rangi ni 22,000 chikire timone yo na becha iti aikuyo no theri antu barato ire to in fact I was lucky ndere ya Wero TV kuya ku promote nyota kira antu ba Meru antu ba Tharaka-Nithi antu ba Embu na bonde ba Kenya baba program ne dai county ba register okuma na kunya star 254 hash okuma wethira omiti chiura bira wala komiti some very basic criteria ogeto interview there was intensive training kwa training na monta biashara baba qualify baka shortlisted na I am happy Meru people came out like the throne 94 for everyone. So of course there was and Meru bend tankarari muno bakareba wengi bakiwa ikipindire ni manto ya tia uma lakini rware kinoru anabatokara abo ibona dianto monde that ya manto ya uma namne neto mutongore wande no is in the forefront called the program we and we are grateful that ituite phase 2 kenda miru to make sure that miru ba ma short for to know ya baba ta ukia bata okay one each and every one to be the winner second chance may appeal is and to be tore baba kumite criteria era okay the winner degree we are sorry to qualify trend down to form 4 and below and baba nake na bena madwani ya biashara and wapita ukibanga biashara beye bana kudembeche bete baka ba skupe maisha. Let me say I see antu bakiduka mpango wari kona mchoro ko mwetu akiremi let me respond to him kimitandao mbandikete message enda ya mno akiwa ameta tokenism. I know of course the best economist to work for the World Bank lakini street te Kenya kwa baba ingi mno baichi dake baichi anto baba ingi batona chiringi 50 na anto baba ingi biringiri 50 is enough ku change maisha yo especially anto baba enturene baba is small towns bechi tonda kangiri 50 let us anto beto iwe kanya tubewe chance ya ochokeria na rengi nyoto kambecha puri watembechi baba kuna kila baeta bakare bache yangia anto bote bakanya nyabo. I remember I was lucky the first phase of Asla Fund and to administer I had the opportunity of working with the Asla Fund. I said little facilitator my sister department MSME era na Asla Fund na nyota fund na little developer program with tatu gara munene itokera antu bateri ambeche cha Asla Fund itokera antu bayo kambecha bete munene atura kya bahabure. Is there anyone of you ataromba mutonoina kana muraina kana muntu chiringi kana eko the university muramba transport? Is there anyone of you litware university oteta ki muntu eno Nairobi litware university batu weta ku relative to kura mati room kuri antu betu babe ite batore lunch chiringi kana chiringi 50 Thirikari ya Kenya kwa watire let every Kenyan ena thimu akunya star 254 kumahasi 254 ash au kumakia Asla Fund akalomba shilingi 500 imbosoti kama mtu Kenya uke 500 yo. Today andoto kwa MUTEMBEI Asla Fund has distributed over 70 billion 58 billion has been paid. My friend, 27 million Kenyans are members of the Asla Fund. 27 million undi pun ndiko ndakurekedia ukuta hotekuo lakini mlongo nakomenya 27 million Kenyans are in Asla Fund. Ta inke tena manata fiki manata ndokuma bua undi kwanza limit ya kweta ite mno ikigiri thatu ibonto yokeke mno lakini kwa Kenyans wakinyite kuba kinya kiringi ngiri 150,000 mbeshoni nyingi MUTEMBEI na we kwantu bakiare bakithukia ninda kuwera wakartura ara omeru ari ko no kwenda kwa million ki ya closest of friends otona mtu kwa. Let me give you another statistics. Okay, we are in because of the ilatuita formula becho weta ku deposit bank chiringi 1 million and above you also asked to give eko en addition na umitacho. One day I was having a drink in a central bank gabana ndamori ai no tuinya mno tuyo mno tutayuka mbecha ambira ithena yanto kidogo mno ndamure kantu bakinya batembecha ambira batika batilambe nyingi. The fraction of Kenyans who deal with 1 million and above, and you can go with that information you can, it is less than 0.05%. So chiringi 50, which is 5% of 1 million, is a lot of money to many people, and we are very grateful for the president because these are 820, and if it's one, a program we get a Kenya yonde.
So kiri mbesa hii PS kwa baba uchiuria ya ka Thirikari ya selective kiri kuyantu bara bakuona mbesa ira bangi bakuona ya ka kuita kwa ruari adults you kiri youth na maybe beyond namba yantu baba rere kwithira baikinya. So Thirikari ni ra late mitaratara mea ya kuona antu bara babati kwa mukira mbesa hii ujumbe kana tumiri ndi bakinyilite bubwe
itwichumitie antu training toereka mundeo na tumbelesi nempi betu bonde na batatangaza toranto beye register na ki program we buru is digital otino interacta muntu otino weta kwera tino kwenda muntu usukuma woninga kone message bare kanta yumira tutethie tone mbechai it is muntu aburi otethia wona mbechai andu bechi cho digital ya buru tera kia muntu etake asla fund kimbete mtu arakenwe imutandao inyoka nya hash 25 star 254 hash wokuma mtandao very simple instructions uwaita waanza chure kidogo tu ba confirm wewe mtu na utakula confirm utino interacta muntu wende then the system automatically ya qualify okay kwa training
so utiwa wanasiasa bara kumira
buru there is no utino paperwork into beyond the idhimoeku. So my appeal to our young people is this program is real. To anyuma antu wetu Meru, antu wetu Thirikari, our people in Embu, let our young people enroll in this program to make sure that our slot of 84 youth in every ward apply and participate in this program.
Training yare yambi. Yeah, this.
It is basic entrepreneurial skills. How to deal with them. Ima tamingi. Nanya leto kwa program ni yatu ya bareke naru. It is also a form of training. No kuona president akira antu wari antu bogona TV ne. Bakaje wita mbazenga, bakaje kuna mbazu. Bange banjire kuito alo anjire tutambifu lakini kabacha kwenda bange banjire kula tutumlefea. No basic training. Kuna antu mbeje cha siasa. Beje cha biashara tofauti na chambi cha kuiwiria bikoro bange weta na wakundumu atandumu andu na mbesha so training you kuna tutatu na manto yo and again one of the most important things about this fad it is also insulated against our digital marando by the nyoga na fuliza chocho tungedia nyoga na asla fund it is tungedia so we are giving you a fair chance kuvunguma no thira kuvunguma mbeca ire wona waita uri amarando ya yangi.
Wow, fair enough. We had at that point na kirendi unga ya rais ntukwirwa ri kwina mawira na thirikari yekire Meru beginning of utongere bora William Ruto na ruare no nekaniro ya chokera na had been very categorical dual currency ya kuma makutano mwaka maua Meru kwa city barabara ya dual ya kuma bypass ya kuma ene mwaka Merutek. So without forgetting Sibitari ya Meru level 5 to kwa level 10 to Meru level 6. How keen is the government maybe no tuikena mutaratara kuona mantu yayo ndeyo kinyanira because Ameru bakaure churia ya kare kinyanira
kakira ngwere because I'm a principal secretary we sit in the budget making process as eto viongozi wa various departments and then nobody kwa ile manto ya commitment ya president amekite na vis-a-vis plan au na plan you know when the president take over barabara ya kuma do kadenje weta marwa ya halfway kize kuthira aliwa itokana do kadenje manka ya Meru ifatu weta manka itete njeresiro nengi makutano kwa ya Embu manka Meru. But importantly, there are already provisions made for specific parts of the road. I don't know, they are really anxious about that. Let me tell you how practical it is. Munene na ure manto infrastructure fund. And what you have seen, those who are conversant with international finance, okay, I could raise 10%. You are able, if you are able to raise 1 billion, you are able to raise easily 10 billion from people because you have shown, you demonstrated ability. Let me give you an example. Barabara ere kuma Keno Murangara kwa Marwa, it is around 15 billion. Toke ya kwenda Safaricom, boto kwenda Safaricom, we are easily going to generate almost 260 billion shillings. MUTEMBEI talambe barabara yanatoka bidhi ya 15 billion. We are talking about 20 dual carriages equivalent, the same size as Kumakeno, Mankamarwa. And we're in the tail end of that transaction. We have an IPO, Nari Mandayo, KPC, took on another 115 billion. And what I'm telling you is you're able to generate 100 billion, you're able to generate another 900 billion because of the commitment we have. So in terms of resources, we lost 2 years, and we lost 2 years in making sure that we are stabilizing, to stabilize the. Nanya wengo ndo kumanya weta mdene, to give you an example. Wakiana pempe kana mungo wandai kariya there for some time. Ikiwa maamiri, that is where we were. We were laying the foundation of the economy of this country. I'm an economist. I see practical steps being taken to stabilize this country. I have no doubt. Imeweza kuwa mtonati aneka njaya tumete ati tote earnings pashi cha Safaricom tote receive what parish what anto meri batemeyo anto meri kwa ndindo courage. So I love the idea the president has the courage kuwa hiyo ndo courage kabisa. Na tipi ndo atende to the society. You know, indeed something and the courage go to with the securitization of that levy. We got 70 billion. We were able to pay contractors. That is how we see. But our be okay. I think let us give our presidents time. You know, it is good. Singapore. You ask yourself, I'm talking about Korea today. And to be able compare mno. But Kenya near South Korea alone. Kenya never get Malaysia. Kenya never get Singapore. The question, and I say in the but we must also have the courage to do the same things. Singapore every day, Malaysia every day, and South Korea every day. You look inwardly first at your strength. That's why I'm focusing on agriculture, and that's why I see it in as a PS in cooperatives. Go facilitate the other 5 pillars. To the plan. I'm an enabler of the 5 pillars of the plan. One be the aggregation through the cooperative and business enterprise. So the let us do the same things Singapore did. Let us do the same things Malaysia did. Let us do the same things South Korea did. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
In terms of mobilization of savings, in 60 years, NSSF mobilizes savings. Iringi chaburi ko support yanto wetu wa retirement to mobilize 360 million. By just changing to save 6% for our pension to NSSF, in 3 years we have doubled that amount, 700 billion. We went into the barabara ya Mahemayo ni kwa NSSF as shares. Yegura to NSSF kwa kembecha. How much money? NSSF is going to be $1 trillion fund in the next 3 years. In the next 2-3 years. What will happen in 10 years? I was working for Total Energies for 18 years, and I know for sure Total Energies, the biggest shareholder, are the pensioners, the pension fund of France. When you go to Wall Street, in the financial capital of the world, the economy is moved by savings. Savings mobilized from the people who work in the United States. But how to say for example, in the circle where the circle movement where I'm the PS, the financial cooperatives, we have mobilized savings of around 1.2 trillion circles. But if you look at our commercial banks, then the budget in the bank is around 5.5 trillion. If you say we have 1.4 trillion from the circles, so we are seeing a mobilized almost 30% of the national savings. What that tell you is that we are not saving enough. Our saving numbers are too low. In fact, Tanzania and Uganda, the ratios were much higher. If you go to the opposite Citibank, the Tanzanian NSSF is building a office block there. they're investing outside Tanzania beto chida savings just because batu itu petty politics kuresist manto kure amanto. So you build their country by sacrificing today. You sacrifice today's consumption for a better tomorrow.
Wow. Nkwenda tuyokia break, commercial break, tuichoka PS ukweta manto ya cooperative sana. At least nkwenda tuchoka kendo tuira department yeku kana imbio biongo bo focus ya bio because antu baba ngino batiori department yekure usumanto yego no tutiba bangi bakomenya imbio biongo bwethera bukidina byo kiri department. But first of all tuyoka commercial break tuichoka tukethera tuichokera kiri departments ya cooperative ira PS Kiburi arunga miri takato commercial break tuchoke.
Kamboni yetu ya Raino Mabati egwethete maguriko gwethie kugwethia kiri mabati jonthe. Kenero ofa yetu special ya factory kiri mabati jonthe ja tile profile za Germania tile, Jamii tile, Espana tile, Jamii tile na Roman Jamil tile gauge 28 made ara maguricha gwete kuma magana jana na ja mirongo ire mwanka magana mugwanja ja 45 wa kilomita, gauge 30 made kuma 680 na ndene 625 for meter na gauge 30 glossy kuma 575 na ndene 499 ake. Okenda beshe cia kuciurire guru ja toye murangi turiongire na arua ukenere offers cietu nawe momero akiuga murojo na inchoni ukuruba mwato aja Raino Mabati twethire tutugikuthondekera mabati kwa miaka nande na tutakuringa nthi. Turiongire industry yetu ya Raino Mabati erere kithoka tire na amero gweta ruire kana turingire thimu namba 0729 628199 kana 0740 229609 weka order yaku. Ameru ndewerere mbere ng'ombe gekaragwa. Raino Mabati, mabati zetu tokarie bietu. Raino Mabati, do it best on top.
Mimi nasema ugali ya lea haikuwangi complicated. Ukienda kwa duka tu, ukienda kwa super tu, kwa afya bora ya jamii ukapoa ni lea tu.
Guys, hamwezeni wait?
Bei ya lea premium, si complicated. Kupika lea premium, si complicated. Unabai, unapika, unashiba. Lea premium.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
Egwa muciari uri na kumakani kwithirwa mwana waku atagwatire grade ya university kanere aringiriria ukamaka kaire nonto PMTI iri atako mutetheria gukinyanira iroto biawe aje cukuru yetu ni turitanaga utiabwa hospitality gutetheria mwana waku kuona Ngugi ata Kenya na Kinyanthi goro ciaome turiongere na arwa wigwatire utiabwa gukurugurira mirango ya Kendegoro na nkuruki kuigwatira mushara jo dola turiongere obishine yetu iri iri town ya Nkobo are kwa Heritage Hotel kumenya manto nkurukiringa ndimo gukurukira 0706 590 366.
Karibu Golden Pillar Sacco. Together we prosper.
O kiroto nigitagia kugwatiro na kwigikwa ura kubatere kenda kiujurana o ikinya rionthe iri batere kubangiro bwega na nikyo aja Golden Pillar Sacco twigika mibango yaku na kumitwikithia ya umithio igwatire niro riro gikundi kienu kana group loan na mainde kumija muthithu jwenu bwajweka nyuma ya mweri jo mwaki na mari nija mwanka mieri 18 ki aja Golden Pillar Sacco no igwatire salary loan na mainde jatantutu ja muchara jwaku na kagita kurea ni mwanka mieri 33 nuku kubanga kugura ngari. Asset financing yetu nirungamira 75% ya maguri ja ngari no gatumira logbook yaku ja security na guti garanto kwendeka. Development loan ukona mwanka mainda jana ja muthithujo waku. Arimi beria nabo iba kuguneka nene na maziwa loan. Nabo arimo batie si iba kuguneka na rondo 1% interest o mweri na marine mwanka mieri 96. Arimi bakawa nabo iba kuigwatira coffee advance na nusu ya marija ukabere na gutena garantas. Kenda kugwata nteto nkuruki riongera rwangiro turarunza rure yakwi nagwe kana uturingire thimu ukurukira 0702 140 140 kana uriongera mutandao jetu nechu www.goldenpillarsacco.org. Golden Pillar Sacco, together we prosper.
Mama Kanana, niuzie kwa unga. Unga yangano faster.
Madhe, kama kawa.
Ala, bona huo?
Wow, usema ndio siri.
Siri ni unga wa nice ambao ni 100% extra premium.
Na si bei yake ni
bora zaidi na ni nafuu. Pia Nice Extra Premium walituzwa kwa kuwa premium nambari 1 kote nchini.
Kweli, unga ambao ni 100% original extra premium. Nao unga wa Nice Extra ngano unakupa mandazi, keki na chapati nyororo na tamu. Nao mchele wenye ladha tamu na harufu ya kuvutia ni Nice Pure Pishori kutoka Nice Rice Millers. Mwea.
Nice na Nice Extra Premium.
Uko ready ku entertain? GoTV inakupa more shows. Juu wewe ni wetu.
That's right.
More movies.
Yes.
Jackpot. More cartoons za watoi.
Of course.
Na more futa.
No doubt about it.
Habari ndio hiyo. Tunakupatia more.
Girl, that is so true.
Exactly. Lipia package yako tuko upgrade to the next package on us.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Kiri uturo bwaku nwethera uri na iroto bia rujuru thongi na nikyo gitumi tukureterete dhahabu yetu. Jojo ni mubango jo gwitithia kigina gyaku ngugi na gwika muthitho kuringana na mibango yaku noko na maciara ja mungana jo mwanka 13%. Ni gutetheria kumenyera kigina gwika muthitho bwega na gukure kigina gyaku bwega. Ni gutetheria wambiria education policy ya mwana igiciaraga o mwaka ukathomithia mwana waku utina thina. No ujuki investment package rega ciarana itumira to bia kukutherema na ikeno bikinyanira utina marando. No utonye kinya mubango ni jo retirement kana legacy package ireka gutetheria ukurune bwaku ukenera matunda ja withi bwaku arambecha cha kwiga kuritira ngugi uri na theria mathuganio ni untu ni oibangire bwega ibange na dhahabu yetu package narua kenda wagirithia rujo rwaku ni untu bonte tonkuruki turingire thimu narua kiri 0724 114 4444 kana 07111038000 kana uriongere rwangirwa turarure akwe nagwe. Dhahabu yetu package kuma kwa yetu DT Sacco. Save me today, I save you tomorrow.
Bueno, tuweta na mbere kuwatanira na batukire rwaria na PS Keleminau. PS to shoke kiri yotoke tiro batilite ya matu ya cooperative. So kwe mtore antu fulani utikomenya impiwe biongo tukwariria. So maybe no tueleze impiwe biongwa rwangiru wa kurunga mirite na mwaka thai impiwe mbite okinyandire na impiwe kiri kienda Kenya pedra ba kigunika abikinya kuliki.
Thank you very much. First time I'm going to cooperative. And I'm very happy because I'm number 1 Kenya came and talk cooperative. But again, for the sake and why cooperatives? The history of cooperatives Kenya dates back in 1808. How can they benefit from this country? So they focused on raw materials which useful and one of them was dairy area na kawa. So our first cooperatives to do very well were which were registered under the UK law chari cheri. In fact, embele ku register yari the current KCC ira register and ari ba area ba somewhere in Kericho, place called Lumbwa in Kipkelion. But later, of course, he could across the country. Ingi chere chakao, of course. Kenya man keti ndiari cooperative. Focus yari what he can export. What can grow in Kenya na export. Tueko watu uhuru 1963. President Kenyatta in his wisdom now formed an economic team which was led by the late Tom Mboya. And they did the famous session paper number 10 of 1965, and which identified cooperatives for the very important role that was Africanization of the Kenyan economy. So, and we did very well. In fact, the banking economy through cooperatives. That is when big cooperatives grew in coffee. Kenya was a renowned coffee exporter. When you look, if you look at Nairobi, Nairobi is full of footprints here and in Mwakawa. Pamiru batatu nyuma, they own Nyambene House, they own Imenta House, and to Bachuka by Mirosol House, on there along by Avenue Tomboya Street, and many others from the Kikuyu country. Fast forward, of course, with the many administrations, key administration, President Ruto, when he was doing the plan, he identified again he needs cooperatives back to where they were in the economy because of the very powerful nature of, us Africans, Kenyans have this habit of working together, and the law of governing that togetherness, that aggregation is a cooperative business enterprise. It is the ministry. The department has been there all through, but we didn't have a standalone ministry either Thirikari for that decision of Uhuru Kenyatta. It is from a ministry of cooperatives na MSME na ngwetu equal aggregate to support again, as I said, the 5 pillars. Ingome ya Meru bona bora kia, what about us? What does cooperatives mean for them? Let me see this. Meru is a very strong economy. In fact, outside the metropolis, as I said here before, Meru is easily the 5th largest economy in this country. And again, because of what our people are doing in dairy, what our people are doing in coffee, what our people are doing in tea, what our people are doing in miraa, could generate better within the ecosystem of Meru County. In fact, there's a one-back report we say is that Meru is one of the few counties where you don't need to go to Nairobi to be a millionaire. Tanguja kumiru utoka Kenya Nairobi, ukatitamanda kumiru and you prosper. So I think in terms of culture kulitangwe, culture handwork, culture of focus na biashara, Meru mbele yao. I think that is very important. But in this administration, what are we doing? We went back to basics, then change it. Since we got the Ukraine, America, countries are looking inwards, Korea, how can we, and the policy of Thirikari, William Samoei Ruto, we need to reduce imports and we need to increase exports. And when you talk about export, you ask, what do we have comparative advantage in? What can we take to the world? We happen to sit in what we call the coffee belt of the world. Coffee grows in a certain altitude. It will kila pali. And which equator kuleta Meru. And they kakora a little bit far from the equator line. Up to around 1,800 up to 1,000 meters above sea level. We perfectly sit in the coffee belt of the world to focus on, to focus Akawa. We are doing a program called coffee revitalization, and we are really giving focus to counties like Meru. I think Tokoya, na Minister of Meru severally. And Tokoya secretary Akawa na Ramantoma Ngemuno, Alimbetu Akabato Nambesha. I'm happy to go and Alimbetu. We have earned in the last harvest some of the highest payment for coffee. I think Meru in Berikwedovo now 130 shillings per kilo of sherry, 120. Weta na Kirinyaga, Embu, I know people have gotten up to 150 shillings per kilo of sherry. What that means, MUTEMBEI, is that if you have 1 acre of coffee, now I can't brag, but I'm 500 to 560, 600 bushes per acre, and you are getting 20 kgs per bush, you are already a millionaire. And that is what we are doing. We last month to Nangabana Butuma to 160,000 seedlings of coffee. It's unfortunate the weather has not been very friendly for the last 2 or 3 months. But to karingi to go the seedlings when the weather is allowing Burunga to favor Wedangia to Rekawaringi. Let me talk about dairy. And I really want to talk about Meru Dairy Union. Meru Dairy Union is processing milk more than anybody else in Africa. Meru Dairy Union is paying dairy farmers up to 1.5, 1.6 billion per month. In other words, Mount Kenya Milk is earning more money than the county government of Meru. But what that means is that because Meru Dairy Union, and I really want to pay tribute to the chairman of Meru Union and the CEO Egitonga, the people work in that organization. Every 5th of the month, and when the president talks about bottom up, this is the model. Is actually, sometimes it asks me what exactly is happening in Meru to ammonia numbers. You can't believe the growth Meru has had in terms of milk production. High. It is now processing like 4 times KCC. KCC is in the factory Kenda, Meru factory. And this is a model we want to replicate across the country, where you want them, you in Ngambe, you in Kawa, you in Tempempe. You have multiple sources of income so that Ngambe kuda ni kurete ukamwa, ukona besha Kawa. Kitu tuna besha Kawa, ukona besha Mira. Kitu tuna besha Mira, unokeza Mpempe chia kuda chia sota mantavyo Korea. That is how you grow an economy. You know, tutumba kuandikwa. You know, you must work with what you have. So,
kwa remonte ya Kawa neria umita plays nara kuirimo wa makandamia na wingi muno and euro governor Meru nara kulukiria watho bomira. So antuba meribo bastra kulite bunene na I don't know in Thirikari at least yomba kubwethia otira anto ba makandamia biashara ba kana arimi ba kuona mbeca na iba ku improve na kinya arimi kana biashara ba kimera.
Thank you. Uninda chama na arimi bamira severally na tokaria na arimi ba makadamia. And you know macadamia is really a very new value chain. And the macadamia has a huge demand in China. Na tokaria terena na to anto bia kwa tana together. In fact, the power of cooperatives is that it gives people that market power. Pokaba ku negotiate bwana into binu as opposed to where Chinese aweta keveo akake ndio aeta kwa dia murimi wenka tukabangarimira betu into cooperative, then we lock the door, we control the supply side of things. And same thing as Mira. Let me tell you how the world works is that the biggest cartel we know is called OPEC. OPEC batukana baka uende Saudi Arabia mauta yako punguza, owe Russia punguza mauta yako. Ili demand ya niga so that they are able to maintain their prices by managing the supply side of it, because the demand side you do have control. Same thing as Mira, we do have control the demand side, but if we come together as producers Mira, arimemira tokia twinde tukari tukatukwana tukuwa twalini tuhatuma maketha Mira tukuwatiri ni onda yana tunachio, we put off the buyers abera betere mawa tukwena onda yana tunachio tukwethe onda tunachio twatemera tutemera yabi egembe south twatuma matua Mira. We must deal with the market like a market it is sore. Let me see this in front of this camera. The invisible hand has no respect. Kenya ngavana mutuma geta Somalia kama manzio muntu ategunda kora miratiria, because the final decision is for the consumer to want. kinyo ambirende mnyotas kante kwenda kunyotas kankanyo. You must convince me, you must undress my heart, you must undress my, but what you do is you control the forces of supply because you have that power. That is what I told the organization. We must find a way of controlling the forces, the supply side, and you can only do that if you come together as people, you form cooperatives. Number two, we must also, this thing, bambira merei bari, rera weta kwendia, watokana hambesha. But also we need to get this money, we need to organize this money, so that when the miraru are, uteke the hamira ntuko chionde, you have no control of the weather. Uteke mwerio kayaka ukora. Ilasima werachono watete, you must save for any day. Yabra wita wana mchara, huo tita ulita yuonde. Iba mtu anadhika harimwe kulitaya chene se save. Na hawa save hingi. We must tell our people, and this is the same thing we are doing in the area. And to be area kuna capital sako da in around 7 billion just saving si antuba joka mbete chionde. Muntu a save something here. So that inya weta banki weta korombe ando kuwate amta kwa statement yeku. Ena to ba mera wa statement yeku statement. And to be bari yoga here. There is no M-Pesa record, there is nothing. So we must bring our people in a modern financial system, same way as macadamia through cooperatives.
Now, we change gear kidogo. President na insisted Meru will be the next city. Okay, the city ready after city reo dai. Meru ni ukinya kana ni kudeserve kwithira ina city na kitha ni kudeserve kwithira ina city. Why Meru and not other place?
You know, there's something I said you didn't listen. I said Meru, maybe as the 5th largest DP in this country. Those numbers don't lie. And if you doubt, how many commercial banks we have in Maua, how many commercial banks we have in Kobo, how many commercial banks we have in Middleton. That tells you something. How many towns in Kenya have central bank? So we already living that city reality because of the way people have progressed, the want to number teachers circulate within Meru County. It is not TM to can't qualify. We already qualify to be. So Meru
take kwendero kayo qualify.
Kiyo qualify.
All right.
Kwa city. In fact, bato kuma mchamani ne yo president ituetere kwa ilimanto ya strip, manto state launch to kana mchamani ne, manto golf course. Because there are some certain facilities we need. We are going to have a golf course in Meru. We are going to have a airstrip in Meru. We have the airport in Isiolo. And we are going to have a state lodge. So that when the president comes, he has somewhere so like Iruaro to the game to Imbon Fire, to Mera, the Nachieto. And being a city attracts. Kenya kwa Branco, where I don't know, it was from municipality.
Yeah.
It changes in terms of the support it gets from the national government in terms of allocation of resources. So it's a good thing. We should be proud of it. We should celebrate, and it also releases. It creates spaces for other towns like Timau, Maua to come to the next level. So it's a good thing. And this, in terms of also infrastructure, the kind of infrastructure we want, the kind of infrastructure we each want to encourage. Chakua Meru with the referral hospital, no a standalone parastato, starting financial development. Those are good things. So we should support. When the president says that, we should be very proud of it, to very support. And I'm particularly excited that I'm living in this particular time when Kona Motindo Yokia City.
Yokia City. Ariane Benupa siasa padu Brea Bokera Meru Rongo and then Mwakakure Ikinye. So ntakumenya the message you have to the critics of the government who feel that for the last 3 years, Butere Buikinyandia, Mantra Buitri Tabukiwa. A message to the critics because they are there.
Kambuya today, you know, Buerinyo Care, Mdeno Kana Mungawanda, Wetere Yokora, but what grows faster the roots which you don't see. That is what the president was doing for the last 2 years. Now he is saying, let us do this. Wetanati and for a long time to Turakurote Barabara Cheko. Now Barabara Kenjae Mekidori as a contractor. Barabara kagaine miombo as a contractor. We shouldn't be seeing now things moving. Now already we are working on, the president is saying we are working on the Thirikari marathon. I don't like, kuriara kavita jamune. Even though I appreciate jamwe, it is because the people are progressing. But if you could have a Thirikari, to cut across marathon, that's a good thing. That is where we are going. So it's a question of time. And the time is now. Inya ndo bo tudura betu rau. Tutubera turanda maketha yo Kenya. Mukomu mete ana maketha rio Kenya. And amiro, it is time to stay and harvest the fruit of your own labor.
Wow. So PS tukirikiria rwari rwetu tukorwari maybe intomerire kuenda utumakira Kenya baraba utuona because people are watching us across the world because where is beyond Kenya. So imagine chire kuenda utumakira baraba utuona tukorwari tukirikiria.
Thank you, Mutebe. Let me say again. Let me speak as an economist, and I speak as somebody who was traveled a bit. We have a beautiful country. Kenya is a country comparatively to with our neighbors in East Central, Southern Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, in fact even West Africa. We have a beautiful country, and one of the biggest assets we have, Nantobetu. Vibrant, energetic, aggressive, happy people. And Bomba, they can easily change these people, this country. We now happen to have a president who has the courage. Kenya kwa mantoya ya fonda bossing wa ondo it na kabidya. Agwa mantoya ya ene seva ondo it kabidya. Antu bemwera o chese chakara. He has the courage to say, let us plant 15 billion trees, because he understands we need to maintain, we need to take care of the environment. He talks about intergenerational equity. Mantoya manene, Korea, what are we going to leave for our people, the children, our children and the children who come before us. We have a visionary leader who has the courage to take us. Leadership is about taking people to places they are afraid of. I think the future, from where I see it, the future looks pretty very, very bright. In terms of the biggest challenge you have had, for example, the median age of our country is around 19 years. Young people, it's an asset, but it's a challenge. Today, it's unbelievable. If you fly today in Qatar, in Amman International Airport, the language spoken there is Kiswahili. All of them are Kenyans. When you go to Dubai Airport, all of them are Kenyans who are working there and across the world. This year, in 3 years, we have almost 550,000 Kenyans who have flown to take these jobs. There are many Kenyans who are working kazi mtandaoni, online jobs. All international companies want to set up hubs here for Kenyans to work. These are opportunities for our young people. Now, I think we have an opportunity to transform the country. And I think my appeal is for people to be patient, for us to be tolerant, for us to differ politely, but differ in a respectful way. I like talking about Project Kenya. Project Kenya has no opposition, has no ruling party. We all need this project for us to be able to try to pursue all our endeavors, no matter how divergent they be politically. Let us take care of our country. Let us be proud of and protect the constitutional order we enjoy as a country. Yeah.
Thank you, PS. And umetumiria mwaki tukirikiria kwenda Kizito Muketha. I commend PS Kilemi for his outstanding leadership in the cooperatives docket. His commitment is strengthening cooperatives, empowering farmers and traders, and promoting transparency is making a real positive impact across Kenya. This is the kind of public service that truly serves the people. Keep up the great work for our nation, like our hashtag tuta ibono tupoko to watana itana batu tukuboro arekire rwaria romwanya na PS kiburingo tikyo kuya tramanto mwanya na kwira oketha utaibwa basi mantu yote thira yakibekana. It has been done at Dustin. Thank you very much.